The world was falling apart. People were afraid. News channels were confused. The ocean attacks had no clear answers. The government still refused to say the word alien. But everyone knew something was happening, something big, and Earth wasn't ready. In the black site Aegis war room, Captain Rhea Monroe stared at the large screen. 5 alien landings. No communication, no peace offer. Just silence. And threats. Next to her, Dr. Myra Voss zoomed in on the latest satellite scans. Alien structures had started building themselves fast. Metal towers rising out of the sea. Something was powering them. It's like they're building launch pads, Mira said. Or weapons. The general walked in. Captain, it's time. Monroe nodded, opened the gate. Deep beneath the base, a giant steel door began to slide open. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights came on one by one. The hallway stretched for half a mile underground. At the end was a massive, hidden chamber, cold, silent, untouched, for 15 years. Inside were 12 strange machines, not tanks, not jets. They looked like small starships, sleek silver with glowing blue engines, Project Lionclaw, Earth's secret weapon, built in the shadows. Powered by alien tech recovered from a crash on Mars. It was never finished, never tested. Until now, Captain Monroe stepped forward. She touched one of the ships gently. "Hello, old friend," she said. "Let's see if you still have claws." "Doctor." Voss walked behind her, holding a tablet. "These ships run on quantum energy. If the core fails, they explode," Monroe asked. Voss nodded. "Very big explosion." Monroe smirked. "Good. That means they're powerful." Technicians scrambled to bring the ships online. Sparks flew. Power systems lit up for the first time in years. Ship 01 codename. Griffin was ready to launch. Barely Monroe suited up. The general looked concerned. "You sure you want to fly it yourself?" "I trust it more than I trust your politics," she replied. Outside, the skies darkened. Clouds gathered fast. Not from nature, but from orbit. A new alien ship had arrived. It's not as big as the command ship near the moon, but close. It entered Earth's upper atmosphere and just floated there watching. Waiting Earth had less time than they thought. Inside the Griffin, Monroe gripped the controls. The cockpit was tight. Lights blinked. Systems whirred. "AI online," a voice said. "Welcome, Captain Monroe. You ready? Was born ready?" 18 years ago," the AI replied. Monroe smirked. "Let's go say hello." "I got it." Hangar doors opened. The ground shook as Griffin launched into the sky. Blue flames pushed it forward. It was the first time in history a human piloted a ship made with alien tech in under 2 minutes. When Griffin reached space, Monroe could see the alien vessel. It was dark, smooth, no windows. No weapons she could see. She spoke into the radio. "This is Captain Rhea Monroe of Earth. Identify yourself." No reply. She came closer. Suddenly her ship shook. "Warning," the AI said. "Wait. They're scanning us. Can you block it?" "Trying." "Wait, something's wrong." The ship's systems flickered. Then a deep voice came through the radio. Not in English, but translated instantly. "You're a brave human, but you're not ready. Go back or die." Monroe stared at the vessel. "Message received," she said. "Now, here's mine." She activated Griffin's cannon built, using alien plasma tech. A blue beam fired. It didn't hit the alien ship. She missed on purpose, but it passed close to close. The alien ship moved back. Fast, then. Cloaked again. Monroe flew back to Earth. Back at the base, everyone watched the replay. "Did you just scare off an alien ship?"
The general
asked. "I don't scare easy," Monroe said. "Maybe they don't either, but now they know we can hit back." Dr. Voss checked the energy logs. "That one shot used 18% of the ship's core," she said. "You can't fight a war like this." "I'm not planning to fight," Monroe said. She looked at the screen, where the alien towers were now glowing red. "I'm planning to strike first." Later that night, Mira Voss found an old message in her private archive. It was encrypted. Almost forgotten, it came from an old deep space drone many years ago. The signal wasn't human. It matched the Zerak language. But the message was different. It didn't say submit. It said, Earth must never awaken. Let's destroy them before they remember. She sat down, heart pounding. Remember what? She whispered the Zerak weren't here just to conquer. They were afraid of something. Something hidden on Earth, above Earth, in the cold silence of space. Something moved. It was fast, smooth, hidden by advanced cloaking. It was not human, inside the alien vessel near the moon. The Zerak commander stood before a glowing screen. A map of Earth pulsed with red lights. Phase 1 complete, the alien said. Earth's defense is weak. Smaller alien approached. But one of their ships fired plasma at us. We did not expect this. The commander turned. A stolen weapon, nothing more. The smaller one hesitated. Still. Earth remembers something. We must find it before they awaken the core. The commander's eyes narrowed. Then launch the Watchers. Send the Hunters. Back on Earth, inside Blacksite Aegis, Dr. Mira Voss studied the old alien message again. Destroyed them before. They remember she couldn't stop thinking about it. Remember what? She pulled out an old data drive from her coat. It was dusty with faded writing on it. Project memory code. Myra had hidden this file long ago, even from the government. She plugged it into her tablet. A hologram appeared, an old video of a ship that wasn't built by humans. It had crashed deep in Antarctica over 100 years ago. But it wasn't Xerox either, Mira whispered. There was another species. Before them. In orbit, Captain Monroe flew the Griffin around Earth's upper atmosphere. She wasn't alone. 3. New Lionclaw ships had launched. Ship 02, Valkyrie Ship 03, Thunderstrike, Ship 04, Omenage. One piloted by hand-picked elite pilots, Monroe led the squad. Their mission: patrol Earth's skies. Watch for incoming threats. The AI in Griffin spoke. Multiple contacts detected. Trajectory Earth orbit. How many? Monroe asked. 7. Monroe's eyes narrowed. Show me. On the screen, 7 objects entered high orbit. Small. Fast, sharp in shape. Those aren't asteroids, she said. They're probes. Or scouts. One of the objects turned toward Griffin. It moved faster than anything Earth had seen before. Brace for impact, the AI warned. Griffin twisted sideways in a spin. The alien object fired a narrow red beam, barely missing the wing. Monroe flipped. A switch. Weapons hot. She locked onto the object, fired, direct hit. The alien craft exploded, but without sound. Only a bright flash in space. Target down, she said. But then, the AI spoke again. Captain, the others are changing course. On Earth, in Blacksite Aegis, alarms rang. The 6 remaining alien probes were no longer circling Earth. They were heading down straight toward Earth's largest power plants, satellites and military. Bases. Mira ran to the command room. They're targeting our infrastructure, taking our legs out from under us. The general shouted, launch defense missiles. But it was too late. In the skies over India, one probe shot down a communication satellite in Germany. Another exploded above a major power grid, plunging parts of Europe into darkness. In Brazil, 3rd landed in the rainforest and disappeared. No. One knew where it went. Back in space, Monroe and her squad chased the remaining 3. Thunderstrike, go left. Valkyrie, take high cover. The team worked like a unit, skilled, sharp, brave. Each Lionclaw ship locked on and fired boom, boom, boom 3. Alien probes destroyed, but Valkyrie was hit. Engines failing. Pilot shouted. Eject, Monroe ordered. The pilot escaped. But the ship crashed into the Pacific after the mission. Monroe landed back on Earth. She was angry. They're not testing us anymore, she told the general. They're weakening us, piece by piece. The general replied, we're building more Lionclaw ships. Monroe shook her head. It's not enough. We don't just need ships. We need to know why they fear us. Mira Voss walked in. She held the drive in her hand. I think I know. She pressed a button. A hologram showed ancient carvings hidden under Antarctica. Symbols of war, humans fighting side by side with another alien race. A species long gone, Mira explained. Thousands of years ago, Earth was not just a planet. It was a stronghold, a place of power, before humans forgot. The general leaned forward. You're saying, we've done this before? Mira nodded. Double quotes. And if the Xeric are back, it means they want to stop us from unlocking something. Something powerful, Monroe asked. Where is it? Mira zoomed in on a map. Antarctica. Far beneath the ice, something ancient began to glow, buried deep for millennia, shaped like a sphere. Covered in markings, it pulsed with light as if it was waking up. The ice cracked slightly around it, back in orbit. The Xeric commander received the latest report. They've begun scanning the southern pole. The commander's voice was cold. Then, begin phase 2. Send the spear. Above Earth. A massive structure uncloaked, sharp like a blade. Long as a city, silent as death. It pointed directly at Earth. Above Earth, something massive moved. A ship dark, long, and sharp had appeared. It was shaped like a blade. Spear. It didn't speak. It didn't send a message. It only pointed straight at Earth's south pole. And then it began to descend at Black Site Aegis. Alarms screamed. Captain Monroe and Dr. Mira Voss stood in front of the main screen. The image was clear now. The spear was real. 20 kilometers long. Black metal. No engines. No windows. Just falling. Monroe asked, What is that thing? Mira whispered, Not just a ship. It's a weapon. Around the world, the sky lit up red. Every major satellite picked up the same image. The alien spear falling from orbit. News. Anchors couldn't explain it. Was it a missile? A new type of space station? They didn't know. But the people watching could feel it. Something terrible was coming in Antarctica. The old ice began to crack. A giant underground structure buried. For thousands of years started to glow. Mira watched the scans closely. It's waking up. The spear. It's aimed directly at this. Monroe frowned. What's this? Mira turned. I think it's Earth's memory. A vault. One by an older race. One that knew the Xeric were coming. Monroe nodded. And we can't let them destroy it. The general stepped in. We're launching every working Lionclaw ship. 7 were ready. Each one powered by alien tech. Fast. Strong. But untested in real war. Monroe led the squad again. This time, they were going up. Not to patrol, but to intercept above the clouds. The 7 Lionclaw ships soared into the sky. Griffin, Thunderstrike, Omen, Warden, Talon, Eclipse, Saber. They rose through the stratosphere, broke into space. Spear was already halfway down. Time was running out. Inside her cockpit. Monroe locked onto the alien ship. It's not moving, not fighting, just falling, she said. Maybe it doesn't need to fight, replied the pilot in Eclipse. Maybe just landing is enough to destroy us, Monroe gave the command. Target its core. Fire plasma cannons. 7 beams of blue energy shot toward the spear. Nothing happened. No explosion. No shield. No damage. The spear just kept falling, did. We miss? Someone asked. No, Monroe said. It absorbed it. The AI inside, Griffin warned. Alert. Object is now emitting radiation. A known type. Mira's voice came through the coms from the base. They're charging it. The spear is becoming a bomb. Monroe made a decision. We're stopping it. Now. She flipped a switch. Prepare ramming sequence. The team went quiet. You want to crash into it? One pilot asked. We can't let it reach the surface. Even if we die trying? But before they could move, something unexpected happened. A beam of white light shot up from the South Pole, from the vault deep under the ice. It hit the spear, and for the first time, the alien ship stopped falling. Mira watched the screen in shock. The vault, defending itself. The light pushed against the spear, slowed it down, but not for long. The spear flared red and pushed back. Harder, the light flickered. It was losing in space. The Lionclaw team saw it all. Now Monroe shouted. They flew in formation. Targeted. The same weak spot on the spear, they fired together. This time, the ship shook. Black metal peeled off, sparks flew. Small explosion burst out near the middle. We hit something, shouted Talon. But then, the spear repaired itself. Metal grew back over the wound in seconds. The AI in Griffin spoke again. Captain, new data detected. There is something inside the spear. Monroe zoomed in. Behind the outer armor was a pod, a capsule. She blinked. Is it alive? The AI confirmed. Yes, and it's waking up. Back on Earth, Mira stared at the vault scans. The structure was no longer just glowing. It was responding. Walls shifted. Symbols lit up. A small door opened deep inside the ice. Inside that door was something Earth hadn't seen in thousands of years, a human-shaped machine. Silver, tall, sleeping. Mira gasped. It's not Zarek, it's ours. Something ancient. Something we built, or were given. The vault sent out a pulse, one single message across all frequencies, every Lionclaw. Ship heard it. You are not alone. Hold the sky. Monroe's eyes widened. Who sent that? Mira smiled through the comms. Maybe not who. What? The vault is alive. Monroe's voice turned hard. Then let's give it time. She turned to her squad. Focus. Fire. All power to cannons. We hold the line here. This is our planet. The spear glowed red. The pod inside began to open. Something ancient and terrible was waking up. A shape moved inside. Large, armored, full of hate. The spear was falling again. Its red glow grew stronger. The pod inside had opened. Something was coming out. And Earth had only moments left. In Antarctica, the ancient vault rumbled. Ice cracked. Steam rose from deep underground. Inside the vault, lights blinked across metal walls, technology far older than any human machine. Dr. Mira Voss stood inside the control chamber. Wearing a breathing mask and thermal suit, she watched the main platform rise. From the platform, something stepped out, a figure, over 7 feet tall. Smooth silver armor, glowing white eyes. But it wasn't Zirak. It was human-shaped. It moved like a soldier. And on its chest was a symbol, a broken earth wrapped in gold rings. Mira whispered, "What are you?" The machine looked at her, then spoke. Its voice was deep, clear, but not robotic. "I'm Sentinel. Last guard of the First War." Mira stepped forward. "What war? Who made you?" "You did." Before forgetting, Mira's heart raced. "You mean humans built you?" The Sentinel nodded. "Earth once stood as a beacon, a fortress world. We fought the Zarok before. You won, but the price was memory." Up in orbit, Captain Monroe and her Lionclaw team were losing ground. The spear had opened. From inside came a new threat, a massive alien war form. Black armor, 4 arms, 2 wings. Red energy pulsing from its chest. The AI in Griffin spoke fast. "Warning. Life form identified. Zarek Alpha-class warlord. Last seen 12,000 years ago." Monroe shouted into comms. "Weapons hot. Don't let it reach the surface." They fired. Beams of plasma hit the war form, barely slowing it down. The creature spread its wings and flew toward Earth. In the vault, Sentinel turned to Mira. "It has begun again. The Zarok warlord has been released." Mira asked, "Can you stop it?" "Not alone. But I am not alone anymore." The walls of the vault opened. More machines stood inside smaller sentinels. Maybe a dozen. All waking up ancient Earth's defenders. Finally returning above the planet, Monroe pushed her ship harder than ever before. The warform dodged, twisted, fired red beams at her squad. Omen was hit, exploded into dust. "Fall back. Stay in formation," Monroe ordered. The creature was fast. Now too fast. Almost like it knew their moves. The AI said, "It remembers Earth." It was made for war against you. Monroe gritted her teeth. Then it should remember. We fight back. She flew straight at it. Down in Antarctica, Sentinel raised its arm. A long blade of glowing energy formed from its wrist. This planet is sacred, it said. The vault opened, fully revealing a launch platform. Mira stood back. Are you going up there? We were built for this moment. With that, Sentinel and its soldiers shot into the sky, leaving trails of light behind. On the moon, inside the hidden Xerox command base, the alien leaders panicked. This was not expected, one hissed. Another replied, the vault was supposed to remain buried. The commander growled. Too late? We begin Phase 3. He pressed a panel. On Earth, hidden Xerox agents who had been hiding among humans for years received a signal. They activated. One of them was inside. Black Site Aegis. Back at the base, Myra got a warning on her tablet. Unauthorized access in Central Core. She ran fast. In the reactor room, she found a man in uniform, but with glowing red veins. Eyes black like Space Zhao, Rack sleeper agent. He turned to her. You should have stayed out of the vault, Doctor. He raised a weapon. Myra dove behind cover. Alarms rang. Security ran in. Gunfire echoed. She had to warn Monroe, in orbit. The battle reached its peak. The Xerox warlord had torn 2 more ships apart. Only Griffin, Talon, and Saber remained. Monroe screamed, Where's backup? Just then they arrived. Streaks of white light blasted through the sky. Sentinel and the vault machines slammed into the warlord with impossible speed. Blades against claws. Energy blasts. Explosions. Earth's ancient defenders fought with skill and fury. Monroe flew beside them. You're on our side, Sentinel replied. I was always on your side. Welcome back to the war. Together they fought, the warlord roared, bleeding strange dark fluid, its wings torn, but it wasn't defeated yet. Back in the vault, Mira returned to the control panel. She activated the final system, the core beacon. The vault sent a signal. Deep into space, not a cry for help, but a warning. Earth has awakened, double quotes, somewhere in a distant galaxy. An old ship heard it. A race older than the Xerox. Watching, waiting, and now. Turning back toward Earth, the war in Earth's orbit burned like fire. The Xerox warlord had taken damage. Its wings were broken. Its black armor cracked. But it still fought below, in the skies above Antarctica. A battle was unfolding that hadn't happened in over 12,000 years. Earth's ancient defenders, the Sentinels, fought beside Captain Monroe and her last 2 Lineclaw ships, and they were losing time. On the ground inside the vault, Dr. Mira Voss stood at the control panel. She was bruised, breath short. Behind her, the body of the Xerox sleeper agent lay cold. Mira activated the core memory system. A glowing ring of light rose from the floor. In the center, beam of data, formed a message from the past. Not a video, not a sound. A full memory. And Mira stepped inside. The room disappeared. Suddenly Mira stood in another time. She wasn't herself anymore. She was someone else, from ancient Earth. She wore armor. She stood in front of thousands of human soldiers, and machines like the Sentinels. Behind them were great cities floating in the sky. In the distance, the Xerox ships came, burning red. Endless in number, the ancient Mira shouted orders. Hold the line. Earth is the last light. A giant sentinel stepped forward. The core must be hidden. If we fail, they must forget, so they cannot be hunted again. The order was given. The vaults were sealed, the memory erased. Earth forgot. Back in the present, Mira fell to her knees. Now she knew the truth. Earth had fought the Xerox before, won, but the cost was everything. They had wiped their own memory clean. To survive. She stood up. Now it was happening again. But this time, Earth remembered above. In the sky, Captain Monroe flew fast around the dying warlord. The creature was strong but slower now. She saw her moment. Sentinel now. She shouted. Together, she and Sentinel charged. She fired. It slashed. The warlord howled as its chest was torn open. It felt burning toward Earth, but the threat wasn't over. The spear, the massive Xerox ship, began glowing again. The warlord's death had triggered its final system, a planet burner. The AI in Griffin warned, core overload. Estimated time to impact, 6 minutes. Monroe's eyes went wide. This whole ship is a bomb, Sentinel replied calmly. Then we take it apart. At Black Site Aegis, Mira sent out a command. She linked the vault to the spear's energy. If she could reverse the current, she could stop the chain reaction. But it required someone on the spear to plant the beacon core, Monroe volunteered. Send it up. I'm going in. She flew Griffin into the spear's cracked hull. Inside, it was like flying through a dying beast. Red lights flashed. Metal groaned. Sparks flew. She reached the core, a glowing red sphere, alive. Angry, she dropped the beacon. Core, it sank, turning the red light blue. The AI whispered. Signal reversed. Chain reaction canceled. Monroe smiled. That's more like it. Outside. The spear began to fall apart, breaking into giant chunks. Sentinel and his machines flew through the wreckage. Protecting Earth from falling pieces, Griffin flew out just in time. The sky was quiet again, back in Antarctica. Mira stood outside the vault, with soldiers and scientists. Captain Monroe landed nearby. The two women looked at each other. No words were needed. They had saved Earth, but Mira had something to say. There's more. She led Monroe inside the vault. There, deep in the heart of the base, was a second door. It had only opened after the spear was destroyed. Behind it was a large silver cube, humming with power. Sentinels stood beside it. This is what they feared. Monroe asked, What is it? Not a weapon? A map? The cube lit up. Stars appeared, stars, galaxies, paths, coordinates. It pointed to many. Worlds, some far, some close, some marked with the symbol of the Xerox, some marked with the symbol of Earth. Myra said quietly, We weren't just defending Earth. We were once part of something greater. Sentinel nodded. Earth was not the end. It was only the beginning. Across the stars, in the shadows of forgotten space, the Xerox received news. Earth had survived, and now Earth had remembered. Earth was quiet. No fire, no war, no explosions. But it was not peace. It was the calm before something greater, a moment between the end of one battle and the beginning of something much bigger. In the ruins of the spear, human recovery teams worked fast. Robots collected Xerox metal. Scientists scanned alien tech. What was once a weapon now became knowledge. Captain Monroe stood beside her ship. Griffin, watching the skies, a voice came from behind. Dr. Mira Voss. We found something in the map. Monroe turned. Another threat. Mira shook her head. Another Earth? The vault's map cube had opened fully. Sentinel stood next to it, hands behind his back. He pointed at a cluster of stars. There are 12 known human worlds. Only one remains active. Monroe blinked. You mean we're not the only ones? You were the only ones who forgot. The others never stopped fighting. Myra's voice was quiet. They probably think we're gone. Monroe stepped closer. Then it's time to remind them who we are. Around the world, change began. Earth's nations finally united, not for politics, not for control, but for defense, for exploration, and for vengeance from the remains. Of the spear, Earth built its first new fleet, eclipsed the Lionheart Sentinel's Blade Griffin reforged ships made. From a mix of alien tech and vault memory, each one stronger than any before. And at the heart of it all was the Earth's core, a new engine. It's born from the ancient vault and modern science. It could jump between stars. Mira and Monroe stood together on the deck of the Lionheart, now Earth's flagship. Before them floated the stars. A new mission. Find the other human worlds. Unite them. Finish what the Xerox started. But the Xerox had not stopped. Far away in deep space, a new council met. The warlord was dead. The spear lost, but the Empire lived. Their leader, A tall, bone-armored creature with glowing gold eyes slammed his hand on the table. Earth was supposed to be dust, another alien hissed. They remember now. And they are moving, the leader growled. Then we move faster. He looked to a dark screen. Activate the hive ships. We burn every world with their mark. The war wasn't over. It had just changed shape. Earth's new fleet launched one by one. People cheered across cities. Screens showed the launches in real time. Children wore Earth fleet pins. Schools taught Xeric history now, in fear, but in pride. They had survived the worst. Now they were preparing for the stars. Inside the Lionheart, Mira activated the navigation system. Coordinates appeared. Their first stop, a human colony world called Althera, lost 9,000 years ago. Unknown if still alive, but the Vault remembered, and so would Earth. Monroe looked at the crew young, brave, full of fire. She spoke. We are not running anymore. We are not hiding. We are going out there.
Right.
To finish what they started. The crew shouted. For Earth, the engines had. The stars shifted. The fleet jumped, vanishing in a flash of blue light. In the vault, Sentinel watched their departure. He turned toward a hidden chamber. Inside, something pulsed. A second vault core. Larger, older. Sentinel spoke to no one, and yet his words echoed. They have awakened. The fire of Earth has returned, and the stars will burn with the light of humanity once more. The end. It was a quiet night at Deep Space Listening Station Z94, floating above the dark side of the moon. Inside the station, only a few people were awake. Most of Earth didn't even know this station existed, but tonight, something happened. Something that would change everything. Dr. Alina Rowe, a young scientist with sharp eyes and fast fingers, was drinking cold coffee. She stared at her computer screen. Suddenly, a strange sound came through her headset. Beep, beep, scree, beep, she froze. This wasn't a normal signal. It didn't match any known star, planet, or satellite. She ran the sound through the computer. The result made her heart skip a beat. The message was repeating. That meant only one thing. Someone was sending it on purpose. She stood up and called. Out, Commander Harris. You need to hear this. Commander Harris, the officer in charge, rushed in. He listened to the sound, face growing pale. Is this a distress call? He asked. Alina shook her head. No, sir. It's not asking for help. It's saying something else. She pressed a few keys. On the screen, a rough translation appeared in bold letters. Prepare for conquest. Resistance is death. Silence filled the room. The message was immediately sent to Earth. High-level officials, scientists, and military generals held secret meetings. They didn't tell the public. Not yet. The president of Earth United Command, General Donovan, sat in the war room with a grim face. We've always wondered if we were alone, he said. Now we know, and they're not friendly. Earth's top scientists, including Alina, worked day and night. They studied the signal. It was old, very old but powerful. They found something hidden deep inside the wave. A countdown, 10 days. That's all the time Earth had. On day 9, strange things started to happen. A large black ship appeared near Mars. It didn't send a signal. It didn't answer calls. It just watched. Satellites tried to zoom in, but every time they looked too close, the ship vanished. Then, 3 hours later, the sky over Earth flickered. Lights in cities blinked. Phones buzzed. Some aircraft lost control for a few seconds. A test, the expert said. They're scanning us, Alina said, studying our tech, our defenses. Commander Reyes, an old soldier with a metal arm and calm voice, leaned forward. They're not here to talk, he said. They're preparing to attack. Alina continued working alone in her lab. She was obsessed with the signal. Something didn't feel right. She took the sound apart, piece by piece. Suddenly, she saw it. A second message, hidden behind the first. It said, Earth was a seed. Now it grows wild. Fire is the only answer. Alina stared at the screen. She whispered, they know about us. They were watching for a long time. She ran to General Donovan. This is not just war. This is a plan. They planted life on Earth like a garden, but now they want to burn it. Donovan listened, shocked. Why now? He asked. Why not before? Alina didn't know. But Reyes had a theory. They thought we were weak, he said. Now they see we're strong. Too strong. Countdown continued. Day 7. Earth's secret defense systems were activated. Satellites moved into battle positions. Troops were sent to bunkers. But they still didn't tell the public. We can't cause panic, General Donovan said. We only get one chance to strike back. Day 6. The black ship moved closer. It sent another message. This time, loud and clear. 10 billion lives. One choice. Surrender or be erased. The war room went silent again. Then, for the first time, Earth responded. Commander Reyes recorded a reply. He looked straight into the camera and spoke slowly. Come and try. On day 5, something even stranger happened. Alina's computers detected movement behind the moon. Hundreds of small objects, too, as fast for satellites to track. They were coming closer. It begins, Reyes said, outside the station window. The stars looked the same, calm, silent. But war was on its way, and Earth would not go quietly. Day 5. The message from the alien ship still echoed in every secret room on Earth. 10 billion lives. One choice, surrender or be erased. But Earth didn't reply this time. It's not with words. Instead, it began to prepare for war. In a hidden military base deep under the Rocky Mountains, the Earth United Command gathered. Top generals, scientists, and world leaders sat around a long table. A large screen showed the alien countdown. It now read to 4 days, 12 hours, 18 minutes. General Donovan stood up. His voice was low and steady. They think we'll just kneel. But they don't know what humans are like when we're backed into a corner. He looked to Alina Rowe, the scientist who first found the alien message. Dr. Rowe, tell them what you've discovered. Alina nodded and stepped forward. She looked young, but her eyes were sharp. There's more to the signal, she said. It's not just a countdown. It's tracking something. Everyone leaned in. What do you mean? Reyes asked. Alina pointed at the screen. 3D map appeared, showing Earth, the moon, and a cluster of red dots near Mars. They're sending drones, hundreds of them, scanning every inch of Earth's surface. They're watching our weapons, our cities, even our weather. Someone whispered they're planning the perfect strike. Outside Earth, in the blackness of space, a small spaceship flew silently past the moon. Inside were 6 soldiers, handpicked, trained, and brave. They were on a secret mission. Their goal: land on the far side of the moon and find the alien probe that sent the signal. Commander Reyes led them. As the ship got closer to the surface, strange things began to happen. The lights flickered. The controls froze for 2 seconds. Then came a loud buzzing noise. Scree! EMP burst, shouted the pilot. They know we're here. Reyes gritted his teeth. Get us down now, even if we have to crash. The ship landed hard, but it stayed in one piece. The team stepped out into the moon's dusty surface. Ahead of them, half buried in rock, was the alien probe. It pulsed with red light. It looked alive. Back on Earth, Alina worked in her lab, studying everything the probe had sent before. Then she saw something terrifying. The aliens weren't just here to conquer Earth. They had done this before to many other planets. Planets that had smart life. Planets that tried to fight back. Planets that were now silent. No signs of life. No signals. Nothing, she whispered. They're not just conquerors. They're cleaners. If a planet grows too wild, they burn it down. She sent a warning to Reyes. Destroy that probe quickly. On the moon, Reyes and his team reached the probe. One soldier, Rico, tried to place an explosive charge, but as he touched the probe, it came alive. Metal arms shot out. One grabbed Rico and pulled him into the machine. The others fired their guns. Sparks flew. The probe screamed. Reyes yelled, "Blow it now!" The charge exploded. The probe shook and cracked open as the red light faded, but in its final moment, it sent one last signal, fast, strong, and wide. Back to the fleet. Back to the mothership. Earth was now fully exposed. Back at the war room, screen flashed red. Alina's voice came through. They know. The probe warned them. They're coming faster now. The countdown jumped forward. Now it read, 2 days, 6 hours, 40 minutes. That night, Reyes returned to Earth. He walked into the war room, covered in moon dust, and sat beside Alina. "We did what we had to," he said, "but they're not stopping." Alina showed him something new. "I found a pattern in the probe's design, these aliens. They fear something. It's not our weapons. What then?" Reyes asked. Alina looked him in the eye. "They fear human unpredictability, emotion, rage, hope. No matter how strong they are, they don't understand us." Reyes smiled for the first time. "Then, let's show them what human rage looks like." The next morning, Earth's skies filled with movement. Ships launched from secret bases. Lasers were mounted on satellites. The moon defense grid was activated. For the first time, all of Earth's nations worked together. No borders, flags, just one goal: survive. The world was quiet but not afraid. Some people prayed, some hugged their families, some watched the sky. Alina looked at the countdown. Only 2 days. And then she said, softly, "They wanted to crush Earth, but they forgot one thing." Commander Reyes finished the sentence for her. "We're not done fighting.